Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another Journaling on a Budget memory lane. So last week, I believe it was last week or the week before, we made the sewing kit to go in our journal. And as I'm looking at our journal, that sewing kit made it just a little bit fat. I mean, we are definitely like just within range here, and we have a lot of pages to go. So it's taking up quite a large gap. So I think what we're going to do, I still think it's a great idea, but I think that I just made that a little bit too fat. So today we are going to change that into hopefully a slimmer sewing kit. So what we have here is our sewing kit, and the width of this, I'm not sure where my solid ruler is. Oh, here it is. This one's easier to see. So the width is about, it's just over an inch, about 1/8 of an inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, it's like 5/8 of an inch. So that's just a little bit wide, and that doesn't even cover the front. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make it into a matchbook style holder. And so that, because we can do that out of cardboard, or not cardboard, but chipboard. This is just a piece of that paper that we use to decorate our tag. So the only thing I need to make sure is I need to make sure that when I fold it down, I want to make sure that my pictures are going up. The back side doesn't matter, but the front side, we definitely want the pictures so that when you look at them, they're facing up. So what I'm going to do is, this is a 12 by 12, so this is 12 inches long and 3 inches wide. I measured our little pages. They're about 2.5 inches wide, so they should fit in here. But I actually thought lengthwise I could fit them both on there. They will, let me see. That would stick out the top a little bit. Well, we'll have to just kind of wing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it with just a little bit of a flap at the bottom, or not a flap, but a little bit of leftover at the bottom, about 1/2 inch, and it really only needs to be about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to bring that down to around 1/2 inch, and then we're going to fold it. So not quite in half. And like I said, hopefully this will be thinner. I'm not really sure. And then we're going to go ahead where that little extra that we left over, we are going to go ahead and fold that up. Okay. Now I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock that is not quite as tall as this. From the fold to the fold is 5 3/4 inches. So I'm going to cut a piece that is 5.5 inches by 3 inches. So we will just, well, let's do it this way first. Let's go 3 inches by 5.5. And actually, I think I'm going to shave just a sliver off that 3 inches. Doesn't need to come all the way to the outside edge of our holder. Okay. So now this is going to go in here. The flap is going to come up, and we'll staple it right there. And then this flap is going to come down and go in here like the old-time matchbooks. So after we get it stapled together, we will put our second fold at the top, which makes it look kind of like a matchbook. If you remember what a matchbook looks like, I haven't seen one in years. All right, so this is what we're going to deal with, and we're going to see what we can get on here. So I am going to cut off the button card, and I'm going to just put it in our pocket. actually, I could have just taken the pin off, huh? Alrighty. So there we go. Now, do I want to leave that pin at the top? Maybe we can. Let's put it in. We'll see how bulky it is when we... No, I think that's going to probably make it too bulky. We've got a couple little holes there. That's all right. Doesn't hurt a thing. And we're going to put our button card in the pocket just like that. Okay, so what else do we have here? We have our needles and our pins. And I did sew it shut. So that's just the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I came out from the center. Then I went down at this end. Came through the middle, came back out through the center, went down at this end, and then came to the middle, went underneath the one that's here, and tied them in a knot. But I'm going to just, maybe I'm not going to take that out because I can still use the needle book. So let's just go ahead and take out our needles. Oh, the little extra bit fell off this one. I'm going to just stick it in my thread holder because I think maybe we don't need quite as many things as we have in here because we don't have quite as much room. So take our pins and then we'll just see what kind of room we have. And oh, we definitely need our needle puller, and we need this. And we're going to see about what we're going to do with that thread. I might take this pocket off, but I'm thinking maybe not. Okay, so this is the size that we have to deal with. It is going to be stapled at the bottom, nice and tight. So I'm just going to put a light little mark right here, so that we know not to go any lower than that, because that will be covered up. So what do we have? We have our pins, our safety pins, and our regular pins. Hold on just 1 second. Hey, I'm doing a video. Sorry about that. It's too hard for me to pin them together, so hubby was vacuuming the floor. Okay, so like if we put this here and staple it at the top, we'll still be able to like lift it up to unwind the thread. And then it gives us some room down here to put and here. So maybe let's go ahead and staple this at the top. Okay, and then we'll put our needle puller back in there, or our needle threader. Want it under all that thread so that it's sturdy. There we go. Alrighty. Wonder if we can, no. All right, then let's put a needle on each side. Oh, you know what I also could have done? I could have, like put some of the pattern paper on the, on the background here. That would have been really quite cute. So the day that you see this, we should be just back from vacation, I believe. So, but I'm trying to get these done before we go because I won't have time when we get back to get them done. So, I just wanted to make sure that we had one here, plus we really needed to fix that. Okay, so now we have we need pins, we need our needle puller, which we could do this at the bottom the same way that we had it before. I believe we had it in with the pin. So we'll just, let me hold it here because I'd like to be kind of in the middle and at the bottom. give us some room for our other pins and our safety pins. And I think that's everything. Oh, we didn't use the pocket, that's right, but we do have the thread on there. Okay, so there we go. And again, it is a it's a sewing kit, so you have to be careful about the fact that there are pins and needles in it. Don't poke yourself. I'm gonna try and straighten that up a little bit. There we go. So we'll put in 2 pins, and we'll make them both the medium size because that would work for more different things. There we go. So we've got our pins and our thread and our needles and our needle puller and our needle threader. Oh, and regular, couple more safety pins, or not safety pins, a couple more regular pins. We'll put 1 on each side because we had 3 of them. There. That looks good. So we took out, the only thing we don't have is the great big pin and the little pin. This is going to fit right in here. And we're going to staple it down. So this is just a really nice way to make a holder. You can use it for earrings. I'm using it right now for a little sewing kit. You can use it for so many different things. So we'll kind of go over this fold really quickly again right at the end because I just love to use this sometimes. All right, so we're going to put this in here. Alrighty, and then we're going to put our little flat fold at the top, which is going to, this one is pushing up, so it's going to be in here, and it's going to be about as wide as from the staple to the top of there, because see, that should go all the way to the bottom, and it doesn't because the staple stops it. So we need to put a fold in the top that takes up this space right here, which is about 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to come up here to the top. 1/4 of an inch is right about here. And so I'm just going to fold it right there. But I've got that little bit of a fold in there. I'll line up both sides. That should make that straight across both sides. Right there. Trying to hold my paper right straight down, which should make that about this. Yes, it does. So see, now we've got that little, that gives us that little bit of a gap. But so this is 1/4 of an inch wide. The other was a little over 1/2 an inch. So this has saved us some room in our journal so that we can finish all of our pages without it being too thick. That's not too bad. I really, when I made the other, wasn't really thinking about it that much, you know, I thought it would just be fine, but it really, after I got to looking at it and looking at the book itself, it was not fine. So there we go. Now we have our new sewing kit, pretty much has the same things in it, and I don't really like how high this staple is. I'm going to move it down just a touch because I'm not getting a good tuck. So I'm going to just move this staple down. Plus it was really crooked. Just hoping I'm getting it straight. Let's see, look at that side and look at that side. Oh, it's hard to tell. Not good with straight. Okay, that's very much at the bottom, but did I get this? Yes, I did. It's in there nice. It is straight and gives us room for this to tuck in. And there we go. Okay, so there is our sewing kit. much better, fits in there better. And so when we still have our buttons here, we're just going to put those in as a tuck card. And so that, I hope that you like the way that that turned out, and hope you didn't mind doing a sewing kit 2 weeks in a row, but I really thought that we should fix it right away. Plus it was something I could do fairly quickly before we leave, because we're leaving in the morning. And of course you'll see this after we get back. But so I'm going to show you that fold again really quick. You can do them any size that you want to. I like them not too wide, so that I'm going to do 3 inches again. And it is the simplest fold. Let me move that out of the way. Okay, so what you're going to do is you are going to fold it not quite in half, leaving about a 1/2 inch gap to fold up. Or you can fold a 1/2 inch at the bottom and then fold this down to that line. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to fold this up. And now that fits perfectly flat, but we're going to have to move this up. So when we move this up, we will need a flat part at the top. You get that flat part from the front. However far up you put your staple, let's, to make this useful, let's put something in there. Well, I don't know how useful putting in tissue paper would be, but let's see. We'll just put some tissue paper in there. Why not? It could be used to decorate with later. If I fold them in half, that way, they'll fit in there. And there will be 4 little pieces of tissue paper that can be used for collage or anything like that. So see, you could, like I said, you can use it to hold anything. So I want it to be about this tall. We'll cut it off right there. Okay, so you're going to put in whatever it is that you want to have in there. Always butt it right up with the bottom really well. So, because that way you know you're going to catch it with your staple. So we're just going to butt that up with the bottom. Then put in our staple. Trying to get it straight. There we go. That one's not too bad either. And then when you tuck this in, you've got a little bow here. It's because now it's too long. So what we're going to do is we are going to fold just a little bit of a flap. The amount of from the edge to the staple is where this cannot go. So from the edge to the top of the staple. So that's going to be about between 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch. So I am just going to just put a little fold in here. And actually, if you fold it down to just above the staple, that should be where it needs to be. Nope, it's going to go down a little further than that. Yep. Because once you put that fold in there and bring the other fold down, there. That's not too bad. It's got a little bit of an angle on it. I should have gone a little bit further. So, or a little bit higher. There we go. So now we have this Matchbox fold. And we've got these little tissue papers in here that could be used for collage or any sort of thing. The front can be decorated. And as a matter of fact, we could just put this in one of our pockets at some point. We'll decorate the front, and it can go in our book for, I'll put it here for now, for use as whoever gets the journal to use to maybe decorate up or make other things for this journal or something else. So there we go. I hope that you like this tuck. I really think that they're really great. And like I said, you can use them for any sort of thing. I also make them, punch a hole on each side and put a pair of earrings in them and then close them down. Obviously, when I do the earrings, I make this fold wider. You just make this fold as wide as what you have inside. And so you have to take that into account when you're measuring your length. If you want to make that 3/4 of an inch wide, if you folded that 3/4 of an inch wide with this piece of paper, it would be way up here. It wouldn't tuck in. So you have to remember that this piece of paper would need to be 3/4 of an inch longer than where you've got it folded for your staple. So there we go. But I think that these are just really great. You can even do this and put a little gift card in there. You can use them for so many things. So thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.